A very good evening. Always a pleasure having you join me for RTV News in English. I am William Evans, but first, the headlines. The leadership of RPF Inkotanyi has called on its youth league members to be exemplary in driving Rwanda's development and to uphold strong values that will enable them to achieve that goal. While Rwanda's tourism sector is projecting continued growth this year, with industry players expressing optimism that the number of international visitors will increase. The leadership of RPF Inkotanyi has called on its youth league members to be exemplary in driving Rwanda's development and also to uphold strong values. Adams Kwizera has this in detail.
The Congress took place at the RPF Inkotanyi headquarters in Rusororo. The first chairperson, Konsore Uwimana, reminded the youth that their energy is crucial for the country to reach its ambitions. She asked them to take initiative, especially in innovation and problem solving. This is a moment and concert on the role that the youth should play in shaping the Rwanda we aspire to build. To achieve this goal, we call your energy and commitment, and we want to see these efforts translated into concrete actions. Youth members of RPF Inkotanyi are asked to take the lead in innovations, address challenges facing Rwandans, and play a central role in improving the well-being of citizens and the country as a whole. Participants at the Congress also discussed their role in building Rwanda that meets citizens' expectations, focusing on job creation, maintaining good health, and preserving the culture and Kinyarwanda language. Being healthy is not just about the absence of illness, it's about overall well-being, including physical health, mental health, and maintaining the healthy lifestyle. Among those who contributed to the discussions were the State Minister in the Ministry of Infrastructure, Jean Didier Wihanganye, and the State Minister in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Eva Utera, who shared their insights on youth development and well-being. The Secretary General of RPF Inkotanyi, Ambassador Christophe Vazivamo, asked the youth to be the role models in advancing Rwanda's development. We expect from you rapid progress towards sustainable development. We are all ready to support you in fulfilling your responsibilities. On social media, where you are active, we urge you to be the role models by promoting truth, avoiding negative behaviors, and protecting the image of our country. Fight against misinformation and division, and use these platforms responsibly as tools to build Rwanda. More than 2,000 participants attended the Congress and also took part in electing new leadership for the Youth League, with Ernest Mugisha elected as the chairperson of the RPF Youth League. Adams Kwizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams Kwizera. Now, clearing agents representing importers and exporters in Rwanda have welcomed the introduction of a new regional customs bond system under the East African Community, saying it will simplify trade processes and enhance cargo security. The system has been used in Rwanda for over a year, but remains relatively new across the wider region. We do have details.
We launched it.
Just 2 weeks ago, Uganda's President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the current chairperson of the East African Community, presided over the official launch of a new regional customs guarantee system known as East African Customs Bond. The scheme is designed to secure taxes and duties on goods traded within the bloc. The head of Rwanda Freight Forwarders Association, David Rwigema, explains that the system guarantees goods in transit until all custom duties are fully paid. In our operations, it's like ensuring government taxes in the event that goods have come from the port with all the documentations, but before you have paid the taxes. In other words, it's like an insurance of taxes that are not yet paid when goods have been declared at the port and into an authorized customs warehouse until when the taxes or custom duties are cleared. The East African Customs Bond replaces the previously used COMESA regional guarantee system, which had long been applied across several East African countries. We have been paying them normally, and goods would be guaranteed when they reach the customs warehouse. The goods would again be sent back to the owners. But the good thing now is that the former administration was far away in Lusaka, but now it's going to be in East Africa, and quite often you might be knowing a few people working there, which makes the process even easier. Before the introduction of these systems, importers and exporters were required to provide guarantees in the form of fixed assets, bank deposits, or insurance-backed securities. Beyond securing cargo movement, the new system also incorporates advanced technology, including real-time monitoring through onboard cameras installed on trucks.
Within a very short period of time, I have mentioned the measures that the EAC is taking, including access to electronic cargo tracking systems in the region, including video surveillances. For example, like these days, you'll actually find, if it's a tanker of oil, there are videos that you can actually put focusing on a specific aspect to avoid something like overdrawing of fuel and so on, including those. And those now are the ones that over time are going to see claims go lower and lower. And now using now that data, they can actually be able to bring the cost down to the consumer.
Kenyan President, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, has described the initiative as a major step towards strengthening customs systems and securing government revenues.
The customs bond was rolled out by partner states in January 2025 after a successful pilot in the Republic of Uganda. This trade facilitation instrument will enhance customs security to ensure payment of duties and taxes if goods placed under customs control are not properly delivered or accounted for. The launch of this bond is therefore a key milestone in strengthening the implementation of the single customs territory and facilitating the movement of goods across our region.
Trade within the East African community has seen significant growth, rising by nearly 22% from $32 billion in 2024 to $40.3 billion in 2025. Exports from the bloc increased by 32%, while imports rose by 13% over the same period. Customs integration remains a key pillar of the East African community, a process that began in 2005 and continues to play a central role in boosting regional trade. Now, Rwanda's journey towards a knowledge-based economy continues to gain momentum, with institutions across playing a role in shaping skills and leadership. Today, the African College of Theology launched its master's program, marking a new step in faith-based higher education. I'm now joined by Dr. Reverend Charles Mugisha to discuss Rwanda's development. Thank you so much. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Yes, we begin by, of course, congratulating you. You just launched your program, but Rwanda in general has a very ambitious goal, of course, of a knowledge-based economy. From where you see it, what does this mean to you?
You know, today was a major milestone for Africa College of Theology, promoted by African New Life Ministries, one of the first theological institutions in the nation of Rwanda. We've been running a postgraduate diploma, bachelor's degree in theology, but now we've added on a master's degree in theology and a postgraduate certificate in counseling. You know, Rwanda's vision of becoming a knowledge-based economy is amazing. Rwanda is on the rise, and that rise includes technology, science, which we have seen grow significantly. Theology and Africa College of Theology has come to add on another dimension on science and technology that is very critical in the development of any nation. Theology brings the values, brings the ethics, and brings the human development. which are areas where the faith people play a significant role. So faith-based organizations contribute significantly to shaping character and integrity, which are the essentials for a knowledge-driven society. Promoting critical thinking and moral responsibility. So the new master's degree we've studied adds on science and technology to bring a better sense of ethics and value-based leadership within those areas.
Doctor, we shall come back to the program a bit later, but you see, Rwanda's leadership, or actually the approach to leadership in Rwanda, the focus is putting citizens first.
Exactly.
Of course, we've set several goals, NST2, we have Vision 2030, Vision 2050. How do faith-based organizations, right, help the government or even work with the government to see to the success of implementation of these different visions? At what point do you find yourself in the bigger vision of the country?
You know, Rwanda's leadership model puts its citizens at the center. The Rwanda governance model is citizenship-centered. I also want to say that faith-based organizations are deeply embedded within communities. So as faith-based organizations, we see ourselves on the forefront of promoting and supporting and implementing policy between obviously the government and the communities. We see our role as mobilizing to support national programs, support health programs, support educational programs, support unity programs, support reconciliation programs. For us at Africa College of Theology, and especially at the African New Life Ministries, which promotes the Africa College of Theology, for the 25 years, we've been educating Rwandan kids. We've run possibly some of the best schools in the nation that have provided an excellent education for Rwandan younger people. We run Dream Medical Center Hospital in Kichichiro, taking care of people who need urgent medical needs. But we do it with value-based leadership. We have taken care of thousands and thousands of children in the Eastern Province, taking care of their dental needs. The faith-based community is out there helping the government, working with the government, working along the government to be able to promote social cohesion, to promote peace, to promote resiliency. We are very foundational to sustainable development.
Definitely, of course, some of the people that will be listening to this conversation, being a theological school, they will be thinking theological studies. But beyond theology and the theology studies, do we look at this master's program as a solution to some of Rwanda's pressing issues, if I might say, especially to our communities, across the board?
Yes. You know, one of the biggest challenges we have had in the faith-based community has been ignorance. This is maybe in the last 10 years we've started promoting theological education in Rwanda. Most of the church leaders were not truly educated theologically. Theology is able to bridge between community, ethics, and the knowledge of God. And this is actually contributing to the community by helping pastors have a better understanding of integrating social life within the community, development within the community. I call it the two hands of the gospel. One hand is the hand of proclaiming the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ as written in the scriptures. But at the same time, how do you bridge that good news in the everyday life of someone who is hungry? How do you bridge that good news in the everyday life of someone who doesn't have a job? How do you bridge that good news to the everyday life of a family that is conflicted and struggling? That is what we've come to bridge the good news and the everyday life of a villager or someone who lives in the city, or a younger man who is confused, a young woman, and can't he make a decision to move forward in his everyday life?
Well, let me thank you for joining us tonight, Dr. Charles. That is Dr. Charles, who is the Chancellor of the African Theology School. Now, moving on, Rwanda's tourism sector is projecting Rwanda's tourism sector is projecting continued growth this year, with industry players expressing optimism that the number of international visitors will increase in the country, and of course, as the country gains greater global recognition. They say that the momentum could help Rwanda achieve its target of generating $1.1 billion in tourism revenue by 2029. We do have details. In 2026, the Times magazine listed the Pinnacle Kigali, a five-star hotel located in Rebero Hill in the capital Kigali, among Rwanda's standout tourism investments. The hotel's owner, Sheila Chalisima, says the government's sustained efforts to strengthen the tourism sector played a key role in attracting high investment.
We're just coming up to almost our first year anniversary since our soft opening, right? So of course it's absolutely worth it. We do have the foot traffic. We have a very unique product, but those who appreciate our value and product are seeing it, and they are coming. One of the things that gives me great joy as we are having this conversation is we just recently got named as one of Time's greatest places. Now, we didn't even know that we were nominated. When we got the news, I asked, who nominated us? I was told we couldn't even be told, but a few people who had visited, international people, went and nominated us for the list. So that's a validation that what we're doing is actually being globally recognized on a global stage. And the idea behind the Pinnacle Kigali and the idea behind what we're doing is excellence at a global level. Not good enough for Rwanda, not good enough for Africa, but actually good enough for the world. And sitting on that global stage is what we're going for, and that's already validation. So of course, it is worth it, and we are seeing our clientele come. Our clientele are niche, but we are seeing them come through our doors.
Other investors in the tourism industry say that government initiatives have made Rwanda an increasingly attractive destination. They also point out to the growing pool of skilled professionals in the sector, many of whom are now competitive in the international labor market.
There are three categories of infrastructure. The physical infrastructure we are talking about here, the hotels, the road network, the telecommunication system. You find for the hotels in Rwanda, you have high-end ones, okay? In Kigali, you have like 4 categories of 5-star hotels. Then you find in the volcanoes there are all those high-end hotels and lodges, same as the new ones in Nyungwe, in Akagera National Park. The example is quite big. I mean, we have a variety. Then you have the mid-range category for people who are in the mid-range with a kind of a medium budget. But also we have what we call the budget option. Even people who can camp if they want to. Camping, which is like $10 a night, within a nice campsite, sleeping bag, etc. So all those things give us the confidence when we are sailing Rwanda.
The chief executive of the Rwanda Chamber of Tourism, Jackson Hakiza, says that 2026 is building on previous years, marked by steady sector growth. However, he emphasizes the need to invest more in technology and foreign language training to meet the evolving demands of global tourism.
There is much emphasis that has to be put on capacity building, especially from the private sector practitioners, so that we can improve the level of service delivery. Yes, we have been progressing on this, but still have a journey to travel on this aspect. And the areas where we are focusing on is about leveraging of the cutting-edge technology to ensure that we improve service delivery based on utilization of new technologies in place, but also continue training and capacitating the human resources or workforce in the industry, especially in the languages, because if you are to promote a destination not only for some countries but all over the world, you need also to cater to those needs and be able to deliver quality services using capacitated and knowledgeable workforce in the industry.
According to a 2025 report by the United Nations World Tourism Organization, UN Tourism, Rwanda ranked among the top 4 countries in Africa and 64th globally in terms of tourism contribution to the national economy. It's now time to residents of Bugesera District. From residents in various sectors of Bugesera District have received treatment for a range of medical conditions from visiting specialist doctors in an outreach initiative aimed at bringing healthcare services closer to communities. This exercise supports the government's broader strategy to expand access to healthcare at the grassroots levels. We do have details to this report. Patients suffering from a variety of conditions, including dental issues, ear, nose and throat complications, eye diseases, neurological disorders, back pain, gynecological condition, and other internal illnesses were examined and treated by the visiting specialists. Residents expressed appreciation for the initiative, noting that all the services were provided free of charge. I had issues with my eyes and teeth. This activity came to save us all who live in Musenyi. This is very helpful. I said, this is a favor from the heavens to us who are in pain. May God bless them. We are very grateful and thankful because we've been suffering. I personally don't think I would leave my house, and many others are like me. They found out I was suffering a back issue. I have been having pains in my legs and hips. We are very grateful and thankful to them. I came to treat my back. They told me it is still curable and they prescribed medication for me. I also have a skin infection whose medication has also been prescribed for me. The services were delivered by a team of 60 specialist doctors drawn from hospitals across the country. One of the organizers, Dr. Jire Mugabo Semahore, says the initiative aligns with the government's commitment to decentralize healthcare services and ensure wider access for all citizens.
So we are conducting this medical outreach because we received a request from local authorities here in Musenyi to come and provide medical services to the community. And we are providing different medical services, for instance, general medicine, urology. We are providing ear, nose and throat, dermatology, dental, ophthalmology, and so many services. And we are happy because the population is here and the team is here. We have around 60 health professionals who are ready to provide services to the community. So here we are working in line with the Ministry of Health vision to bring health services closer to the community.
More than 1,000 residents with various health conditions registered for the exercise, with approximately 700 receiving both diagnosis and treatment. This report brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin. William Evans is my name, and from me and the rest of the team, have a good night and goodbye.